watching Advice Would Be Nice. This week on Advice Would Be Nice, we are covering narcissistic relationships. Before you are 3 cards. If you would like to take a moment, focus on the cards and which card calls to you using your intuition, pick your card and then watch your reading by clicking on the Advice Would Be Nice playlist on Healing with the Tarot and selecting the relevant reading for your card. And without further ado, we're going to crack on. If you need longer, please pause the video here. Right, let's get started, shall we? Hello, card number 2s, and welcome to Healing with the Tarot. My name is Amy, and you are watching an episode of Advice Would Be Nice, and this week it is narcissistic relationships that we are touching upon in our general readings today. So, you picked the card Family. Now, there's a few cards to get through in this reading. Spirit had a few things that they wanted to say, so please bear with me. I'll try and get through this as quickly and as comfortably with you as possible. So you picked family, blood ties and inner circle. I sense a fractured family. A union that between parents, possibly, maybe one of them is a narcissist or one of the family members that you are with is a narcissist. But I feel like there's a divide between siblings. For some reason, I do feel like there's a divide in the family due to narcissism. And it's obviously going to vary due to who is watching, so please just lovingly take what resonates and leave the rest. But for some reason, when I'm holding this card, when I'm looking at this card, I'm feeling nausea, I'm feeling sick. I don't know if you yourself are going through some form of illness at the moment related to the family dynamics and to the trauma that you yourself has experienced as a child in a narcissistic family environment where you were subject to the AB of a narcissist. But I do feel like there is some form of illness that is surrounding this reading just from how I'm feeling. I'm also feeling a little bit breathless, so I'm just going to talk about the things that I'm feeling, and please just take what resonates and leave the rest. But I am struggling with my breathing, so if that might be that some of you are feeling anxiety, depression, it's just not a very happy family environment. There's been there's been a lot of conflict in your environment, been going on between you and your family members. Unrest, a lot of unrest, a lot of being unsettled. I almost feel like now my head is foggy and confused and overwhelmed. I'm feeling a sense of being overwhelmed. Two of Swords in reverse. And this lady, she's blindfolded and she's being surrounded by the birds that represent her thoughts. Almost like she's being harassed by them. Which, you know, it's almost as though you're being faced with a difficult choice, confusion, angst of the unknown, between a rock and a hard place. I feel like this is what I was just sensing before that card got put down, was this feeling of confusion, this feeling of not knowing to do over this conflict in this family dynamic situation that you have going. Oh, okay, and the Lovers in reverse. Okay, so this is either between... I feel as though now I'm getting into this, that this is about you as a parent and this is a family union that's come to its end. The family dynamic between you and your partner, there's children involved. There's been a lot of conflict. You're confused how to proceed. And the Lovers in reverse. Let me just get to the Lovers in reverse. I'm still learning the cards. I mean, I've been doing cards for years, and my brain still will not cram all the information in there. So just bear with me. I'm so sorry. Right. So it's disharmony. You're giving away of power in this family dynamic, because that, like with narcissists, that's exactly what happens. Is there's an imbalance in the power dynamic, because they always want to have the control. They have to be in the driving seat, and they manipulate and they punish, and they're very cruel in the way that they dole out their discipline and dole out their opinions, and make life very awkward, deliberately difficult, because they wish to be themselves seen as the one with all the power, the one, they with all of the cards, and that you are at their mercy and their behest, because you are seen as a property, not as a person. And there's been manipulation in this partnership. They've manipulated the situation. And at the moment, because there are children involved, I feel as though you are stressed and you're worried about this dynamic, and how best to move forward. Like, you're confused over what is needed to resolve this issue. But I feel as though you're worried that you're going to be jaded and so affected by this partnership that you're not going to want another, or that you will end up in the same dynamics with another person. But that's not true. It is isolated to this situation, and it is all about you finding your own personal power, about claiming it back. This is just a recommendation. I'm sure that many of you have probably already done this with your children, but may I suggest that you sit down with your children. Now, when I was a wee lass, when I was young, my mum and my dad was a narcissist, and my mum, she forced the dynamic between to be maintained, but in order for our benefit. But in all honesty, it was keeping my father in our lives was not for our benefit. It definitely didn't benefit me at all. It did not benefit my sister, and there was no stability, because it was an unstable house, because it had a narcissist in it. Just to make sense, like, things are never going to get better or change with that person, because they are set in their ways that way. That narcissism in its own right is not something that is easily resolved within an individual, because the person with the problem needs to see they have a problem, and narcissists are incapable of admitting to themselves they have a problem, because it's always everybody else's problem and not their own. They are too good to have a problem. They're too great to have a problem. They're too important to have a problem. It's an unresolvable issue, and it's going to be down to the children to choose. But I would still be asking my children, is this serving you to have these arrangements? Do you find the time with your other parent enriching? Do you want to spend time with your other parent? Do they treat you well? All these sort of like questions that you can ask, but it's just suggestions, and I'm sure you as parents have already done that. But where I went through this when I was a kid, I would say to people, sometimes what we think we're doing for the benefit of our kids doesn't actually benefit them. So maybe think about that, because in this family dynamic situation. But please just lovingly take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm just here to try and help and support you through this difficult time that you're going through, and to pass on some messages from Spirit for you today, and from my own personal vault of experience, and just take it with my love, and do what you will with it, my lovelies. Now, what you're being asked, because the obstacle is the manipulation in this situation. The obstacle is this broken marriage, this broken situation that's been going on. And I feel like because of these dynamics, you know, I said I was feeling sick, and I was feeling ill, and I was feeling stressed out, and I was feeling like I'd lost myself. And it is the loss of self. This card represents that, and you have the many expectations of others weighing you down, because obviously you've got the expectations of your family, your friends, your children. But what about you? What do you need for yourself in the situation? How can you best navigate it for you and find yourself? Because I feel like you've lost yourself, and you're in need to find your self-love again, find your peace, find your center. And in order to do that, it's about getting away from this dynamic, giving some time to really just know what you want, hear your own thoughts, hear your own mind, to navigate through this. The action recommended. Well, the Page of Wands comes to you today as the action recommended by Spirit for this situation. Creative new beginnings. Explosive enthusiasm. I mean, it might be really difficult to find that considering how much stress you're going through right now. I mean, feeling the energy from your set, my darling. I feel really nauseous. I feel stressed. I feel foggy-headed, cloudy, like I've got so much on my brain, and the dynamics are so defunct in this situation for you. But it's giving yourself permission to dream again. It's giving yourself permission to be independent, to be free, to break free from this dynamic and this individual that has really made your life a misery. Start trying new things out in life, maybe taking a different direction, seeing what your children want as well, and what direction they'd like to go with you in life, what they want for themselves. As I said to you earlier, I think it's going to be really important moving forward that you're all on the same page. And the only person who won't be is the narcissist, because they'll deliberately be obtuse and opposite to anything that you want, because they'll want things done their way. But, you know, start dreaming about your future. Allow yourself to dream again. Allow yourself self-love. Allow yourself peace of mind and peace in general. Like, put aside some time where you can actually start just loving you and reminding yourself of who you are, because you're not just a mum or a father. You're not just a friend or, you know, a brother. You are you are yourself, an individual, and you need to get in touch with that part of you, that intimate part of you again, that got so overlooked and annihilated by this situation and circumstances of this family dynamic. Also, in the outcome, we have temperance. You're being asked to have patience towards this situation. Have you got any left by now? I mean, it sounds like quite a challenge, but it's about moderation and balancing your energies, because we're both divine masculine and feminine, and it's about coming into alignment between both sides of you, from the protective aspect to the soft feminine mothering aspect, and about finding that unique balance within. And you know, we are in the perpetual motion of life, so what is happening now will not always be so. And that is the motto. What is happening now will not always be so, because we are moving through, and this will come to its conclusive end. The only way, really, and you might want to watch Pearl 1, but it was talking about the cutting of cords to the narcissist in this relationship. When you have children, that's very difficult to do, because they are always tied to you by that bond between the children and you, and having to work with them in order to make sure that, you know, the children's rights are being observed and honoured, and nothing's being overlooked. But, you know, restraint and patience are going to be important to seeing through, because I feel like this person knows how to push your buttons. They know how to start conflicts. They know how to confuse you, and they've been chipping away at your resilience, my darling. Chipping away, and making you feel less than. But you're going to claim back your power today, because you're going to walk the middle path and nourish your spiritual wholeness and your self-love, and you're going to take that time for you. And any time he or she, whoever this is in this family dynamic that's the narcissist, tries to push your buttons and start that foggy-headedness, you're going to know how to slip into that peaceful middle ground space and get through the interaction without getting triggered, because you're going to take the time to pull out all those daggers from your back that slowly been inserted over the years, and turn all of that into power. And I know it sounds like a weird analogy, but melting down those daggers and building a shield from it, a shield of unresponsiveness. That's right. What I want you to do from today on, my darling number twos, is this. I want you to, while you're watching this right now with me, close your eyes just for a moment. And I want you to see in front of you a mirror. And you're going to turn that mirror outwards. And on the other side of that mirror is the narcissist. And every time that narcissist comes at you with their energy, with their barbs, with their comments, with their snidey, manipulative behaviors, you're going to be unreactive. And that mirror is going to bounce all that karma and all that energy right back. And you're just going to see that mirror as your protection, and know that all the energy by your will is being bounced back. This does work, and I want you to start using it from today, my loves. You will notice that people shut down really quick because they're receiving back their energy tenfold. It bounces right back at them. And they'll lose interest, because you're no longer feeding their energy. You've cut them off, completely cut off. There is nothing coming back to them at all. And narcissists thrive on fuel. And if you're no longer there to be fed off of, they will have to move on. And I always feel awful thinking, oh, I'm moving on somebody that's horrible like that to someone else. But it's their natural way of being. And if you can actually remove yourself from that feeding frenzy of a narcissist's, observation and interactions, it's a good thing to do. So we're going to start using those tools today. You can open your eyes now if you haven't already. All right, my loves. So remember, you're going to walk the middle path, start nourishing your spiritual wholeness by claiming back your power, starting the practice of self-love in any ways you can in the moments that you have. You're going to pool your resources and move forward. And the King of Pentacles, well, the King of Pentacles has won his seat of power through his resourcefulness. He has everything he needs. And he's holding his wealth in the palm of his hand. Why? Because he knows his kingdom. He's wise, he's mature, and he has looked after his assets well. So much so that they have grown. And this is what you're going to be doing for yourself. I shall read you the King of Pentacles as its meaning in here. Overflowing material abundance, patience and determination. Do you know that's been reflected twice now in this reading about the patience? Patience. Oh goodness, excuse me. Patience and determination. Also, being a confident, warm leader and providing for others comfort and security, personal growth. You're reaching your goals, because part of karmic relationships is the bye Felicia. You know, you've done your bit with that person and you've got to let them go. But you have got to recognize that you were the one that they were feeding off. You were the one with the power. You were the one in the dynamic that had the resources that that other person envied, wanted, and utilized from you, because to them you are a resource, you are a fuel, you are a tool. And they pick you because you can give to them what it is that they need. Okay? So you're taking back your power because you're the one with the power, right? You're the one with the resources. And you need to remember that that is so, and that is the truth, and that you don't need this other person, and that you can let this person go, and you now have tools and ways and means of cutting them off energetically and taking back your power from this family dynamic within the home. So this also the message here that's happened twice now, where you're being asked to dream my endless potential into existence with steady desire and effort. So it is about dreaming about your future now and letting go of this stagnant, stale, narcissistic energy that has just been pulling you down with the trauma and the drama and giving you a royal head F, basically. Right, so we have these cards coming out now. I will get through quickly. They are just, not everything will resonate with you in this little pile, but this is the bit of the reading I've asked for the spirit guys to say what it is that you've had to put up with. Okay? Dust it off. Dirt digging. So you've been asked to ignore the slights, the slings and the arrows of this person, to dust yourself off, get up, get on with it. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to be the way I am, and you're going to have to deal with it. And also looking for dirt on you and vice versa. If you're going through a family split right now, it's getting a bit toxic in the situation maybe. And you've been looking for stuff to use in that separation to help yourself, to remove yourself from a toxic family dynamic. You've been suffering in silence, unspoken desires, broken dreams, having real feelings and no one to tell them to when it comes to what's been going on behind closed doors. You've kept a lot of this suffering to yourself in silence. Archangel Michael steps in here. He wants to remind you that you have divine protection and you are prevented from harm through divine intervention, that you're being protected, and it may not feel like it, but you are. That karma, that negativity, see it as not being able to stay with you. Ask Archangel Michael to cut the cords between you and this person, okay? Because I'm sure you've been wrapped up tighter than, you know, a ball of yarn in this middle of it, you know, in the middle of this ball of yarn of cords, energetic cords that are just choking you. Get Archangel Michael to cut them, to slice them, to remove them so that you can be free. And then look after that energy. Put a shield around yourself. Imagine yourself surrounded by a bubble of warm light energy that just bounces off any negativity from you. You have been feeling trapped, that you've been stuck, had no options, and in a cycle of unforgiveness with this person. It's just been a consistent cycle. And you're still feeling trapped now because you've still not managed to get out of it with this person yet. You're still struggling in this dynamic. And you're feeling hopeless. You've been feeling hopeless about this situation. Oh, look at this. Do you remember I was saying in card reading 1 about cutting ties? It's come out again in reading 2. So respecting that you have your freedom and standing up and awakening to the power of who you are, that things are not, you know, you may feel like you're trapped and hopeless and going through it, but cutting ties is what it's all about in this situation. Now, Archangel Chamuel, popped out twice. Now, the first time when I started reading it, I thought, oh, I don't know if that's the right message for pile 2. But when Spirit threw it back out the deck at me again, I thought, yes, it is the right message for Spirit. I'm just going to do my job and not argue with Spirit today. So Archangel Chamuel comes to you and says, Archangel Chamuel works on the pink ray of love and being blessed. With this Archangel card indicates that you are ready to open your heart to unconditional love. Love has no restrictions and accepts all people as they are, nor does it judge. True love is so powerful that it dissolves hurt, anger, and separation. Let love flow from your heart and touch your loved ones, those you dislike, and strangers. This creates a bridge of light, which an angel can move along to bring hope and peace. In return, your life will be blessed and filled with love. Your affirmation, my heart is filled with the flame of love. I'm not saying that you need to be like all lovey-dovey with your ex-partner, or the partner you wish was your ex-partner, and you're in that sort of like switch-over state of trying to get away. But at the end of the day, love and forgiveness, and I say this to people a lot as a healer, love and forgiveness is not always for the other person. It doesn't excuse what they've done to you. It doesn't excuse it. That karma is for them to account for in their own time. But you do not have to carry their karma with you. You do not have to be connected by energetic cords to that karma and carry them with you on your journey like baggage. Forgiveness and release allows for you to set them down and aside and move forward freely in life, releasing you from the karmic bonds of that person's karma. Because you have removed yourself from the need to be involved in their life any longer on an energetic level. You're not excusing what they did to you, but you are forgiving them in order to free yourself from having to come back and deal with that all again in another life, and also from having to deal with it in this life. Why would you want to carry them around or around your neck like on a chain? Do you know what I mean? It's like, seriously, I'm just going to love you and leave you right where you are. Ta-ta! See you later. Don't want to see you again. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for all of the experiences that we had, both good and bad. I respect you for what you have given me in terms of fortitude, in terms of resilience, in terms of learning from the negative that you have shown me. I know what I want, what I don't want, and I'm in a better space because you put me there through being that bad. So thank you for showing me what I don't want, and God bless you and goodbye. I'm free from you. You still have to deal with your own karma, but I don't have to deal with your drama. Bye. Serenity. See, by doing that, you give yourself serenity. Oh, so sorry. Just banging the camera today. Serenity bestows inner peace, tranquility, and calmness of mind. When you feel serene, you are your own person, for nothing and no one can bother or upset or influence you. You are like the calm, clear lake, beautiful and peaceful to be with. Your quiet radiance brings hope and support to those who come within your aura. You attract respect and love from others, for all are calmed by you. As you become deeply serene and still, you connect with the higher powers of the universe for divine guidance, and your path in life becomes smooth and flowing. Quietly ask your angel to hold you in serenity. Say, I am serene and still. And you're being asked to have those moments of serenity and stillness by indulging in self-love acts, indulging in quiet time, taking those moments that you do have to yourself and using them to your full advantage to actually heal, to actually grow, to actually remind yourself of who you are without that other person who tried to annihilate you and overtake you with their personality, with their ideas, with their beliefs, with their wants, their needs. Everything was them. But now you're going to be, everything is about me, finding myself again. Everything is about me, enjoying life with my children. Everything is about me, finding my freedom and getting on my feet again, knowing that I'm abundant and resourceful. I was that way before I met that person, and that's one of the reasons they were so attracted to me, is because I have got my shit together. I can get there again. I don't need them, and I don't need any of this. See ya. I'm going to be good. Look out for synchronicities. The guys said about synchronicities, and how important it is for you in pile 2 to start looking out for them, because when you're on the right path, you're going to start seeing signs, symbols, and synchronicities that just point you in the right direction. Like, people are going to come into your life that you need, and situations, and like you might start seeing repeating numbers, or something on a song you'll start hearing over and over again, something that will help you know that you're on the right path. Right, I've asked for some clarifying cards now about your situation. Find some wise counsel. Seek guidance from trusted friends or mentors to help you along your way in this family situation. You are not alone. There are people out there that can help you. Ask your guides to guide you to the right people, and know that when you feel it in your gut and with your intuition, that those people are the right ones to actually support you during this difficult time. Know that your wishes will be granted, and the outcome may not exactly be what you want, but it's going to be what you need. Okay, so just know that this will resolve. This situation is going to resolve, and you will get to a better place. And this is all for your good, where you're going to end up. Just know that what is coming is better than what has been. Know that you have an ocean of possibilities available to you. Navigate through the boundless ocean of possibilities, where horizons whisper untold opportunities and plentiful paths. Start seeing your freedom. Start practicing it. Start stretching your wings back out. Give them a good exercise. Know that, your dreams, your potential is still there. It hasn't been taken from you. It's about giving back to yourself now. And knowing that the gate of opportunities with the ocean of possibilities is right there for you. Passing through the gates of opportunities wherein new paths unfurl with boundless potential. There is a lot coming in for you. New ground, new opportunities, new chances for growth, new circumstances, situations, and people. You're leaving behind the old and making space now for the new. And you see here in this picture, we have the sculpture of self. You've got the light and the dark aspects of you, the balance between divine feminine and masculine that I was talking about earlier in this reading. The shape of sculpture of self, honoring the perpetual act of forming and expressing identity, finding yourself again. You need to find yourself again, my darling, and give yourself that love, and seize the opportunities that are coming your way, and know that you are worthy of all good things, and that this situation will resolve. Scales of balance. It is about things coming into balance, seeking equilibrium of love and career, harmonizing your inner scale to weigh decisions with both heart and mind. Listen to the whispers of your higher self. Look beyond the words and hear what is really being said now. My goodness me, my voice is going and I'm like not even reading proper English. I'm so sorry. Right, so soul whispers. Look behind the words and hear what is really being said now. So you're being asked to look behind the mask and really see what's being said. Start seeing things for what they are, not what narcissists would want you to believe. Start really listening to that intuition and really going with your gut, and not dancing on eggshells anymore, and not putting up with crap anymore. You don't have to anymore. Behind the veil. Welcome uncertainty as an opportunity for growth, and be okay with not knowing. It might be at the minute you really want to get this situation resolved and you don't know how it's going to resolve and you don't know when, but just know that it is, and things are unfolding the way they should. And focus on the things in this moment that you can change and what you can do and support yourself, okay? Whilst dealing with this very turbulent situation that you've had going on in the home dynamics. And finally, realize that you're in the divine flow. Let go of attachment to the outcome. So this is still saying about you giving up needing to know where this is going to end up, and go with the flow and open up to being in that divine flow, and it will work out in your favor. It will. Trust the process, trust in you, trust in your resources, trust that you are an awesome individual with all the potential and all of the things you need to make your life work for you and your children. Okay? And this situation will resolve. And don't forget, the best way to deal with a narcissist is to cut them off. Have as little contact with them as you possibly can. And when you do have contact, use the shield, baby. Use the mirror. Right, my darlings, my love to you. I'm sorry if this was a long reading today. I hope this has helped you with some perspective. I don't even know what that word is. Perspective. I would love it if you would leave me a like, thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel. It's free to do. I upload every Monday and Thursday. I will be back next Monday with past life issues, pick a card reading. Until then, my darlings, have a wonderful week, and I will catch up with you next Monday. Take care, my loves. Bye.